ambassador for CONIC. And we also have our UN family, NCC, our partners, the Human Rights Commission, the Gambia Police Force, and also our contracting company, which is the.
Good morning, everybody. I think, as usual, I will start on the existing ambassador of the EU is also here. So just to recognize those people. So pardon me to go straight to my address, which I think is not going to be. It's going to be very short because most of the issues were dealt with during the last stakeholder forum. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is my singular honor and privilege to welcome you all to the IEC Stakeholder Forum. I am sure you will agree with me that it is indeed a very constructive forum where relevant issues on the electoral process are discussed in a very amicable, interactive, and transparent manner. Pursuant to its open door policy, the Commission will not relent in sharing information and providing relevant updates to all the stakeholders as and when necessary. This is in line with the Commission's desire to make elections as inclusive and transparent as possible. Such engagement is also critical in dissipating fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. The focus of today's engagement is on the post-registration activities. As we may know, the 2026 supplementary voter registration was concluded on 21st May 2026. We may attest to the fact that the voter registration process was well observed by various stakeholders, including some political parties, the media, CSOs, and some partners. The process was conducted as required by law, bearing in mind that any registered voter should be a Gambian and he or she is or will have attained the age of 18 years by the next election date, which is the 5th of December 2026. Follow-up activities are ongoing. These include verification and adjudication of the registration data generated from the field. This is indeed a very meticulous exercise that requires the identification and segregation of the needed data that will constitute the provisional list of voters. I would like to thank the Commission's IT department for the enormous efforts deployed to generate a very detailed provisional voter list. Similarly, Electoral Service International, Inc. ESI, a key partner to the IEC, is also recognized for its tireless efforts and support to the process. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the voter registration process is not only limited to capturing the data of registered applicants, but also include the appeals and objection processes that may be heard by the revising courts. The revising magistrates will ultimately validate the register of voters, which will then be incorporated into the current voter register. That's the 2021 voter register. The Commission places a premium on the integrity of the voter register and seeks to make this process as inclusive, transparent, and credible as possible. The fee of $50 is to accompany any claim of appeal or objection as required by law. Starting from the 7th of July 2026, the Commission will deploy its personnel to publish the provisional lists at all designated registration centers countrywide. We therefore encourage voters and stakeholders to properly and meticulously scrutinize the list for the purpose of corrections. This will furthermore help to ascertain that only eligible Gambians are on the register. In the same vein, The political parties will be provided with a soft copy of the provisional list once we close this meeting today. This will be issued free of charge. Representatives of political parties here present can receive the flash drives on behalf of their respective political parties. The Commission has also initiated a dialogue with all political parties to find acceptable solutions to some key issues that have the potential to negatively impact the credibility of the voter list. Discussions were held on the 29th of June 2026 at the Election House, with 15 out of the then registered political parties at the time. Now we have 24. That's why I said then registered, 22. Okay. We registered 2 yesterday. So now we have 24 political parties. The focus was on how to deal with the documented cases of double or multiple registration committed by 14,334 voters. Now we had 24,058. That was double registered cases. So when these were, that's why we did the adjudication to ascertain. So some records, some people had 4, 3. So that is why it went up to 24,058. Now when we did the adjudication, now this shrink to 14,334 persons. And at the end of very constructive discussions, it was decided to delete the names of those who registered twice or more in 2026, while maintaining their names in the 2021 voter register. In cases of suspected registration fraud, the Commission will initiate legal proceeding in order to ensure the integrity of the voter register. Consistent with the IEC's policy of inclusivity and to ensure that no eligible Gambian is disenfranchised, a short window for the replacement of lost, damaged, mutilated, or burned cards will be opened before the election in December 2026. In its drive to promote better understanding of the electoral process by the stakeholders, the Commission, in collaboration with partners, most especially ECONEC. ECONEC is the Association of all the Electoral Commissions in West Africa, of which I am the first Vice President, plans to organize some training workshops to increase knowledge and understanding on elections in the Gambia. Against this backdrop, IEC personnel and some members of various organizations will be trained on key areas in election conduct. This will include the media, IPC, CSOs, police, etc. This is aimed at having a hitch-free and seamless election. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Commission would like to reassure the electorate and all its stakeholders of its continued commitment and resolve to deliver free, fair, transparent, credible, and inclusive elections. I thank you for your kind attention.
Yes, thank you, Chairman, for that very detailed statement. And next, we will be having the technical bit of this forum, which is a presentation which will be delivered by the Chief Electoral Officer of the IEC, Mr. Samuel Njai. So he will take us through various issues that we're supposed to focus on today. So I don't know where, okay, you're going to your usual. See, yes, okay. Yes. Okay, this comes.
Okay. Good morning. Uh, Thank you very much, Director, Training Communication and Public Affairs of the IEC, Mr. Paramakan. Uh, uh, Chairman, Independent Electoral Commission, Vice Chairman, Commission members, Chair, NCCE, Chair, National Human Rights Council, Head of Governance, UNDP, Project Manager, EU, UNDP, Great Project, uh, representative of political parties, members of the media, civil society, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My presentation this morning is on the publication of the provisional list of voters and the revising code. It is going to be the implementation part of the provisional list and the revising code. The last time we met here, we gave you the legal basis for the provisional list and the revising code. Today, we are going to look at how we are going to implement the provisional list and the revising code. And the outline of the presentation will tell you the publication period and what will happen during this period. We will tell you the appeals and the objections period and how it's going to unfold. And we will also tell you the fee for appeals and objections, like the chairman highlighted, and how, or the mode of payment for these fees, and also the operationalization of the revising code. First, like the chairman has earlier said or alluded, the publication of the provisional list of voters will run from the 7th of July to the 16th of July 2026, 10 days. On the 7th, that's next week, Tuesday, all the regional offices will be going out to the registration centers to publish at the registration centers the provisional list that was generated during the conduct of the supplementary voter registration. So this will run for 10 days. We are expecting to complete this publication in all the 730 registration centers within a period of 5 days. So members of the public are encouraged to go out and properly scrutinize this list from the 7th to the 16th. And we also encourage the public to assist the IEC to ensure that the list is maintained or published there. Although we know the rains are around, we all know also the wind may blow it, but we encourage the villagers and the communities to help us that these things are not removed. Because the IEC will not have personnel 24 hours to be at these registration centers to make sure that this is up. However, some copies have been given to political parties. Please keep your copies for your official use. Okay, on the appeals and objection. The receipts of appeal and objection will also start from the 7th to the 20th of July, 14 days, as stipulated by law. From the 7th to the 20th of July, any person or registered voter who, for example, claimed to be registered and he or she was not registered can go to the regional office that is responsible of that area where he lives or where he claims to be registered and launch an appeal, collect a form, and appeal for him or her to be registered. Likewise, anyone who, during the registration, observed that an ineligible or unqualified person was registered and that person is not qualified to register can also raise an objection on the registration on the voters list published. This objection should also be made in an objection form available at the IEC of election offices. And this period will run from the 7th to the 20th. After the 20th, no appeal, no objection will be received. Before the 20th, no objection, no appeal will be received. So please, this is the period for people to go out and properly scrutinize the list and the issues that they have during the registration. This is the period where they can resolve it. Okay, the fee for appeals and objections. The fee, like the chairman said, is paid at $50 for any appeal or any objection, and it's payable at any of the IEC bank account at GTCO or GT Bank, Zenith Bank, or UNA. For UNA, you can pay to any UNA foreign exchange bureau, or if you have the UNA wallet, you can use the matcha and pay and bring us the soft copy and share the soft copy with us. For the Zenith Bank and GTCO or GT Bank, when you pay, you bring the receipt and you'll be given a form. If you do not pay these things at any of these outlets, you will not be given an appeal or objection form, or your appeal or objection will not be accepted. Upon payment, you must produce a receipt to the election office to collect an appeal form. For the revising court, we are happy to inform you that the IEC has written to the Office of the Chief Justice requesting for revising courts to be set up in each administrative area. This will start after the end of the receipt of appeal and objection. The receipt of objection and appeal will end on the 20th, and a week later, if we receive any appeal or objection, the revising court will start. For the information of the public, please be informed that no revising court will open unless an appeal or an objection is received. The last time in 2021, people were waiting for the revising court to open so that they can go and launch their appeal. This time, it doesn't go like that. You have to appeal or make an objection so that we can take this thing to the revising court and the revising court will start. But you don't have to wait until the revising court are open and you start making your appeal. It doesn't go in that way. We please advise you that if you have any objection, any appeal, make it so that the revising court can open. The revising court can only open if an appeal is received or an objection. And finally, I just want to inform the general public that we have transferred voters' cards in our election offices that are yet to be collected. We encourage all those who transfer their card to go to those offices to collect their voters' card. They are ready for collection. On that note, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, CEO. I think it's a very short but very detailed presentation. So next, we'll be going to the next session, which is the Q&A or comment session. So on that note, we will take sets as usual, the normal way we do it. We just take sets of how much? 3, yeah? Or 5. So you may just see how best to respond to the issues. So maybe please start the Q&A. Yes, number 1. Okay, 2 for now, right? Okay, QTV, please. Adi, good to see you.
Thank you. You on?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Adi Darami, Head of News at QTV. Just clarification I wanted regarding the revising codes.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning to you all. Initially, it was said over 24,000.
All of now.
I've been carried out. Okay, sorry. Buñ fi mujjee daje last time ñu ne woon more than 24,000 double registration la gaa detect woon but tey ngeen ne loolu wàññeeku na ba 14,334 so bëgg naa xam the remaining balance léegi how did you deal with it naka la loolu mujjee daal bëgg naa xam the difference.
Waaw jërëjëf, thank you. So chairman or CEO? Sorry? Yes, just 2 for now. Yes, just 2 for now. Off.
Seniors, your learned seniors around, like the chairman of the human rights courts, you have superior courts and the like. So you have appellate courts and things like that. So people can appeal. Maybe you can appeal to the High Court too. Okay? But normally, it should be. We always say the decision is final, but even like some some powers are given to us. They say the decision of the commission is final, but when they go to court, it's overturned and the like. Appeal. So that's it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. The second one, um, 24,000. Huh? All right. I'm just trying to get the figure. Okay. Lima mën a tontu ci loolu mooy gis nga bu registration bi amee lu ñoo wax cases mooy comme ñu register ñaari yoon ñetti yoon ñeneenti yoon so loolu buñ ko xaymee moo demoon ba 24,000 waaye léegi bañ defee lu ñoo ooy adjudication moo tax after registration bi dañ am officers about 10 ñu nekk ci office bi for a month dañoo xool sa fingerprint ñu xool sa but ñu xool sa kanam ñu seet gis nga buñ xaymee loolu noonu moo tax mu wàcca si léegi lale cases la woon léegi mu ñëw to 14,000 so léegi ñu ngi jël comme dañ catégorise am na ñoo xam ne ñeneenti yoon lañ register am na ñoo xam ne ñetti yoon am na ñoo xam ne ñaari yoon am na ñoo xam ne 2021 ak 2026 lañ register so yoon ñooñu ñaar la so léegi moo taxoon keroog buñ meetingee ak political parties ñu ne su fekkee ne nit dafa register because 2021 boobu register bi dañ ko sign boobu bu am la so léegi lu ñoo mën a diilal pour ñu mën a setal register bi mooy su fekkee da nga register ñaari yoon in 2026 so ñu génnee 2026 ok so that's it so loolu moo tax mu ñëw 14,000 élément I only hope so bële cases la bii léegi dañ ne comme diw sangam ñeneenti yoon la register so buñ compter loolu yëpp ñu génnee comme ñette comme su fekkee ne nit ki dafa register ñeneenti yoon so léegi duñ compter ñette yi benn la ñoo compter understand so 1 against the 3 ñu register ñaari yoon ñu compter 1 against the other one so su fekkee dafa register ñetti yoon dañoo compter benn against ñaari so moo tax léegi mu ñëw to 14,334 waaw mooy nit ñi comme nit ñi waaw ñaata nit ñoo register yi waaw 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 ñan ñoo ci register mooy 14 bi waaw it involves 14,334 persons you understand maa leer na yàlla wuy laa ka olof For purpose of clarity, and you give it back to the IEC, it is the IEC that will take it to the revising court, to the revising magistrate, and the revising magistrate will determine the date, the venue, and the time when he or she will hear that case. And from there, will serve to the objectee or to the appellant notice to answer to the revising court. That's what I wanted to clear.
Yes, thank you. I hope it is clear. And again, the question in Wolof was that how about the 24,000 and the 14,338? But the chairman answered that it was 14,338 people that registered double or multiple times, resulting to the 24,058. I hope it's clear. So just for qualification, thank you. So may we please have another set, please? Number one. No. Okay. Number two. And who else? Oh, the cameras are hiding, huh? Oh, okay, then let's take the two. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Jamanti Juara, representative from APC. I want to make a request that was made in the previous stakeholders engagement. That is, if the IEC can make available the segregated data of the list of persons that were registered in the supplementary registration according to the modes in which they were registered. We want to know how many people registered through attestations, through what documents have they provided for the registration process. If political parties can have that data. The data of a segregated data showing the modes of registration. How many people registered using Akalo attestations or ID cards or passports? The concern here is how many people registered using Alcalo attestations. If you can have that data segregated.
Okay. Thank you. Number two, yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Mala Hadi Touré, NRP. Dama la laajte 14,334 yi nga xam ne ñu ngi register ñooñu ban daan lañ leen war a daan su fekkee ne dañ ko tey loolu laa amoon pour lu may laajte.
Well, dear Madam Toure. Then there was somebody. No, there is none. Okay, yeah, okay, okay.
Good morning. Fatumi de Gambia for all. Good morning. Fatumi de Gambia for all party. My question is, when the IEC took the document to the revising court, after the revising court, we paid, before going to fill the form, we paid $50. After the $50, we fill the form. Is it that the person itself is going to be present in the court, or IEC is still going to continue with the court? Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, number 4 is here. Honorable Bali. Honorable Bali. You know, the cameras are hiding. Honorable. Yeah, okay.
Good morning, Chair and team and everyone present. My name is Sotuan. I just wanted to know whether the 14,334 we're talking about, whether it's a segregated data, knowing how many of them have registered in 2021 and have registered in 2026, and how many of them have registered in 2026 double or triple. That's what I wanted to know, if there's any data segregating that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's it for now. Okay, Chairman?
Yes, the statistics, I think it's possible because any person who registers with a document, whether it's attestation or passport. Yeah, it's possible. Upon request, yeah, we can deal with that. Madam Touré, fona keroog waxoon nañ te fona wax naa ko bu ma doon gaaral suma kaddu ci kàllaama anglais wax naa ne ñoo xam ne dañ ko tey ñu def ko ñu luwaa daf leen di daan waaw luwaa daf leen di daan waaw parce que dañ wax ne comme ñu def double registration rek ñoo xam ne teyuñ ko ñoo xam ne xëy na technical glitch la or any other thing ñu delete leen waaye ñoo xam ne daf ñu uur ne daf ko tey comme kenn jël like am na instances yoo xam ne dañ gis benn birth certificate ñaari nit use ko waaw déema sax vice am na benn kenn ku moo woon kooku dafa register 2021 den bi yoon mu ne moom dafa dem mu ne suñ nit ñi ne dama ñëw pour replace ñu register ko voilà vice moo ne ko boobu moom la waaye delloo si na so da nga gis ne ñooñu message bi mu ngee demoon because vice dafa wax ne dañ la procédure mu isi delloo so parce que ñooñu noonu ñoo ko bëgguñu woon a jël rek commission bi ne ah lii la ñoo def waaye dañ ci boole political parties comme nuñ ko diggee woon keroog buñ fi ñëwee dinañ waxtaan ak political parties parce que soo xoolee ñoom ñoo dee gën a jëfoo voters si waaw ñoom ñoo dee gën a jëfoo voters si because ñoom voters si ñoo seen interest soo moo tax ñu ne jéego bu ñoo jël foog ñu waxtaan ak political parties si soo comme ni ma ko waxee fukk ak juróom ñoo ñëwoon te at least lu angale de wax kuurum amoon nañ soo moo tax ñu jëloon loolu sarta yu loolu la ñoo def ñoo xam ne daal tayuñ ko waaw yéen ñaa màgget yoo xam ne dañ registré woon parce que ñu tayal a dellu parce que ñu dem register so we will try and see naka la because amoon na 2021 amoon 2011 amoon na suma mbokki pool boo xam ne 5 times la registré woon non boobu waxoon nañ ko fii waaw a nga joolaa du def loolu all right waaye revising code foo naa suñ ñoo yóbboo code suñ ña samoone foog nga dem de nga wax ne yow comme su fekkee ne de sa tur mu ngi ci registre bi ñu ñëw ñu ne la sa tur war ka nekk ci registre bi foog nga ñëw nga teew nga wax ne man suma tur war foog nga nekk ak seet bi du loolu waaw so at least if you are objected to or you appeal, you have to appear in court to make sure that you make your work. You make a defense also. Yeah. So you have to show appearance. Yeah. So data segregation, I think that was what we said because they wanted us to tell them to show them the numbers, like those ones that we think we should delete and those ones we think we should prosecute. I think it was what? APRC, were you there at the meeting? No. You were there? Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Out of this number,
yes.
How many of them were registered in 2021? Like if I was registered in 2020 and I registered 2026, double registration. Now,
Yeah.
in 2026, how many of them have registered twice or three times?
Yes. No, we talked about that, and then we said, there are different categories. We talked about the different categories, and then it was agreed with all these resolutions. The IEC is to come back to the political parties and give them these figures. What you're asking for? I think that was what was agreed on. Yeah. Mr. Mane, not so? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. And may we have another round? That's one. That's number two. Okay. That's number three again. Okay. Number one, please. The mic here, please. Number one. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Yusuf Taylor, journalist for Askanwi Media. Very much appreciate the opportunity to convene here and get this very important update. So my question is, we all know it's almost that or if we have not reached the 6-month mark now. Does that mean that for the window is shut now? No other parties can be registered. It's this 24 that we have for the next presidential elections, because I think there's an understanding that 6 months before elections, some things are fixed. So that's the first question, right? And then my second question is that is it going to be a case where people will not be able to take anybody they know who they feel is a double register? Is it going to be left to the IEC and the political parties to decide what exactly they do with that? So the public will not have an opportunity to say, even if they have any information, will they be able to sort of lodge something in the revising courts or something like that? Is that possible? So I'm saying, is the decision on what happens to the double registration solely reliant on the meeting that you will have with the political parties? Can civil society, can the members of the public, if they have any information, can they also, pursue the issue of double registration? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Even though we are talking about voter registration, not party registration, right? Okay, number two, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, members here present. My question is, I'm sure during the registration period, not all eligible people who are to register were able to get registered. Now, in the event that those who were left out and they still want to register, is there any room provided for them to get registered or not? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The number three, QTV. Yes.
Yes, hello. Since I came to the Gambia, all the elections I've covered have there have been allegations of voter fraud, and it was mentioned here. And I just wondered, has there been any charges, prosecutions for voter fraud? And secondly, what are the sanctions for anybody found guilty of voter fraud?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Chairman.
I think the first question and the second are almost linked. Yes, there is a period for cutoff registration. That was why we did our utmost best to make sure that we end the registration in May, because there's a six-month period. So after 6 months, you cannot, or before 6 months before the elections, you cannot do voter registration. So, Mr. Samabale, I think I've answered your question indirectly. Yes, for party registration, there is no timeline. There is no timeline. Once the people fulfill their the required laws, of course, you have Section 60. I'll give you an example. There is a group that they are youths. They say they want to form a political party. Instantly, I instructed CEO to write to them and tell them they are not qualified, because you cannot use, because Section 60 of the Constitution is clear on sectionalism and all those things. Otherwise, the women also will get up and say they want to form their own group because they are in the majority. Yeah. So I told them, no, you have already filled in the first instance. So try something else. So we look at Section 60 of the Constitution, and then we also look at, from Section 106, of the Elections Act. So it's clear as to how we should go about. And this time, what we do is we also, because those days we are very lenient. We let the parties do the needful. Once they are qualified, then they pay. Now, but if you look at the law, it says that your application should be accompanied by the fee. So a fee of 2 million. So now, if you don't pay, we don't even touch. We don't even look at your. So that's that. So that's it. About the double registration, the double registration itself is a crime. So it's for everybody. So it's different from revising court. Revising court is only a registered voter that can challenge. It's clear. You read the laws and then you understand. So if you are not registered, if you are not on the list, you cannot challenge somebody else. But as a citizen, it's okay. But right now, I think we said what we agreed on with the political parties is to delete those ones that we think, and then the other ones that like when you did the analysis, we know that this one is fraud. Those ones we will try to prosecute. Because we're also looking at, we have the revising court, 14,000 people, when are we going to prosecute them? We have 6 months to the election. So there are a lot of implications. We had a family meeting, and definitely we understood each other. We understood each other. Yeah, because everything is geared towards what? Because if you leave those 14, you're giving a wrong impression of 24,000 records when it's not 24,000. At the end of the day, people will say, we have a low voter turnout, when definitely it does not require what? We're still trying to sanitize. Maybe the next time, in fact, yes, we tried the transfers and replaces and all that, so that people can. That's why we said we'll open up. Because we have found voters' cards that were issued in 2026, lost and found. They brought them. So imagine. So that's why we said we will try to open up a window so that people like that can try and replace, so that at least we'll have a good turnout during the presidential elections. Yes, about fraud. There is fraud. If you look at the Elections Act at the back, so there is penalties for everything. Now, for double registration is 500,000, 2 years imprisonment, and then there is a likelihood for you to be banned for 2 electoral cycles, 10 years. This is not magic. So you look at the Elections Act, you see for voter registration, everything is there. For election malpractice, everything is there. For treating, lawyers will understand what I mean by treating. So everything, bribery, all the penalties are there. 2025. If you don't have, you can buy the copy, or we can supply you with the soft copy, so that you know. Now most of the people are digital, so we can supply you with the soft copy so that you make yourself acquainted with it. So that is why we're coming up with this in partnership with Econet. We'll have maybe three sets of trainings. One on legal framework, so that at least people will understand, the stakeholders will understand, and it will run down to election management, resource management, so that at least how we generate, how we collate, how we do all these things, so that at least everybody, if the political parties, the media and CSO, like they have representatives. And then I just want to, what we agreed on, if there is money, thank God ECOWAS is here, EU is here. What we are planning to do, what we agreed with the political parties is, we want to make an album of all the double registration. So that at the end of the day, when we delete your card and you go to the polling station and your name is not on the list, we can check the double registration. Because some people may take the card and say, someone took a card for not, for not what? For not voting, because you did double registration. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I think there is a follow-up.
The case is paid, fraud case. We were talking about fraud. Yeah, there is one, the AI generated one. That case is with the police. So we're very strict. Yeah, it's in the courts now. Yeah, so we are trying to make sure, because as I said, our motto is transparency, fair play, integrity, but we have included inclusivity and compliance. Yeah.
Yes, I think that sort of answers my question, because the reason I asked the question is because I think the notion of voter fraud is greatly exaggerated. And the fact that there is one case that you can even remember it tells you that it is not as widespread as people believe. I mean, we have political parties here that are led by lawyers who believe in evidence. And, if you are certain that there's been voter fraud, then take it to the courts. But as I said, there's one case, and you can even name that one case. And I think we need to stop this exaggeration.
Thank you. My name is Swell, and then I just want to make a follow-up to what Mr. Ba rightly asked here. We know that Mr. Balde, sorry about that. We know that there's a time frame for voters registration. I want to give a scenario here, and then for you tell us in that situation, those kind of people, what would be their fate? I live in the Koto Streamway, Nema, Bundung, other ways. Every year, this year the election will come right after the rainy season. Every year we experience flood, most families, unfortunately. So when it happens, and then their materials in the homes normally get wet, and then they have lost a lot of gadgets. So in a situation whereby voters register, my voters card happens to lost in there, and I want to vote, what would be my view?
Yes, thank you. Then number 2 was behind, then number 3, yes.
Hello, good morning. My name is Amadou Kumare. I'm with Gambia Participates. So my question is really will be available on IEC's website so that all the stakeholders can have access to it instead of just soft copies for political parties. So that was my first question. And the second question, when you mentioned voter education coming in, with all the stakeholders taking part in this voter education, do you have any sort of option where some of that work is for the CSOs to take on and make the outreach bigger than what IEC is doing with few stakeholders. Thank you.
Okay, number 3. Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the gentleman from QTV is entitled to his opinion, but I don't think he can adjudicate on the fact that voter fraud is exaggerated. He's in no position to determine that. In 2021, there were numerous cases of amnesty. This year around again, we decided we're going to have a case of amnesty because people made mistakes in good faith. Those who deliberately violated the law will be prosecuted. We have had a case of our own UDP case, which we took to Supreme Court, which was thrown out. So I don't think it's in any position to adjudicate that there's an exaggeration of voter fraud. So you are entitled to your opinion, but please spare us your adjudication.
Thank you, Chairman. Sorry, there's one more. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much, Chairman and IEC. Yesterday was a very good day for our democracy. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Honorable Yahya Sanya, Unite Party, the newest and the youngest party of the country. I just want to ask a question. Yesterday, before the chairman, there was a population of microphones, but I could not see the state broadcaster GRPS. I don't know why were they absent, or probably were they written to, or they were not written to. Because yesterday was a very important day for our democracy, and anything captured in that room was newsworthy. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a matter for GRPS. Honorable, thank you. Okay, Chairman.
Yes. You think we are? I think we have given. I think we've spoken about this thing. I think even in my statement, I talked about replacement, giving a window for replacement. Yes, because I said before the elections, we're going to give room for people who lost their cards, damaged or burnt to replace before the election, so that we don't disenfranchise anybody. I think that answers your question. So don't worry, you'll vote. You know, I live around there. I live around Erinjang, so I know how it feels. Okay, that's stream. You know, yes. You see, in this country, there are a lot of laws. So you have access to information. You have Data Protection Act and all those things. So we will try and see about that data, and we will look at the legal lenses, you know, in order to put it, you know, online. But at least it is safe with the political parties, I think. So I will not. For voter education, I think it is everybody's business. That's why, yes, because we don't leave it just to IEC. I always challenge, you know, like they are our primary stakeholders, and I always challenge them, especially political parties. You want people to come to vote for you. Tell them when to come out, how to come out, and how to behave after. It's part of voter education also. So you don't just tell people, come out and vote for me. No, you tell them how they should vote for you. So that is the responsibility of everybody. Civil society, everybody's business. We have NCC, we have the chairman here, NCC, and the program officer, or the CEO now. They have a CEO. I'm not trying to denote you, Mr. Bojang. Yes. And I can see Wanep and Tango, the CSOs are here. And I think I want to recognize, you know, Wanep, you know, for doing a very good job. Yesterday, I gave a goodwill message, you know, on they are validating stakeholder analysis, risk mapping, and electoral violence indicators, which I think is very good. With 10 other institutions, I think NHRC is there, NCCRM, and a lot of police. I saw police there and the like, which is very good. You see, they didn't even have to wait for IEC to do that. They know that it is their responsibility because they are what? They look forward. They're advocating for peace and peaceful existence. And then they've gone and sought forward sponsorship from EU. I think EU is bank ruling. So it's a good initiative. I was there yesterday, and it's a good job. It's something that all of us can use to help us to conduct peaceful elections. Because hotspot, you know exactly those areas. Stakeholder analysis, you know the influences of stakeholders, you know their interests and all those things. And then electoral violence indicators, that will help us. So kudos to Wallet and your partners. Okay? So we are not waiting for anybody, don't wait for the IEC to do these things. You have initiatives, come up so that at least, I said, look, we are just managers of the process. You don't own the process. You own the process. So please, let's all come, put our hands together, and then we move on. So that come 5th December, we have what? Credible, peaceful, inclusive, free, fair, transparent elections. Because kuneka su defe waru wara, ligi bi dafa oyof. Suñ ko baye bien a board rek du baax. Sorry for deviating into all of. What I'm trying to say is let's all come together and do our quota. You know? Because if you look at the stakeholder analysis, every stakeholder has a role. So let us play our role out to the best. Yeah. Mr. Mane, I think that one I will not say anything about that. Mr. Sanyang, I think we at the IEC, you can ask all the political parties, when we are registering, we leave it as political party affair. We don't write. Yesterday, in fact, when the first AIP came and I asked my communication, did you invite anybody? They said no. The journalists came. So we don't have any say in anybody's editorial policy. I don't know how they came. I just saw the media there. So I think, I don't know. But for me, I told you people invited them because, yeah. So we didn't invite any media, but we saw the media because it was.
Yes, thank you.
When it comes to election, yes, I can talk about it. When it comes to media coverage, unless it is maybe during elections, then I will say yes. This is what the media, this is what the law has empowered me. Like I'll ask DRTS, please give equal time to everybody. That one, the law empowers the IEC to do those things. But out of that, I don't want to chew. I don't want to bite more than I can chew.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I think there is one here. Today we are having very few hands, and we'll come back to you, Adi, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Last questions, huh?
Actually, I don't think mine is a question. It's just like a contribution. I am Salamanjai. I'm the head of ONE, and I want to seize this opportunity to also thank the chairman. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for the commendation. It is something that we definitely appreciate. And I'm here sitting with the EU. We want to thank them also for the support. Yes, today is day 2 of the validation of those very important studies that we did, the hotspot mapping, and it is really a point of concern because if you look at it, out of the 53 constituencies that were on the study, at least 31 of them are marked as high risk. So it means that we all have a whole lot to do because 41 out of the 53 constituencies are considered high risk for this election. So, as the chairman said it, it's a collective responsibility because at the end of the day, it is in our best interest to see to it that there is a free, fair, and credible election. So, that's it.
Yes, thank you, Madam Jai. And we have,
Yeah.
yes, please, Adi.
It's relating to data protection and data privacy laws, which we've recently introduced here. Our electoral laws predate data protection and data privacy laws. Now, in the data protection and data privacy laws, it's quite clear. It says if I give my personal details to a government department, that government department is not allowed to share that information with anyone else, not even another government department, not even if they think it's for my own good. That being the case, somebody registering to vote, they're giving their personal information. We've heard here that political parties will be given lists. How does that square with our data protection and data privacy laws, which are quite categorical? If I give my details, they can only be used for the details that I have given. I have given my details so that I can vote. That's why I gave it. How do we square that with the fact that some of that detail might be shared with political parties?
Yes, thank you. Chairman?
Yes, political parties are our primary stakeholders, and it is used mainly for electoral processes. We know why sometimes we don't give these things. I give you an example. You make these things available to people. You know, our registers are everywhere. People take these this data and use it for other things, and then more so, we've seen examples. Yes, we cannot give. We have reasons. Yes, we have reasons. Yes, the law is there and the like. But yes, as you rightly said, the electoral laws predict, like these ones. So we use this data for electoral purposes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, Yusufa, number 2, yeah.
Thank you very much. Just a concern. During the last presidential election, the media actually wanted to scrutinize the assets of these politicians seeking out presidency. No, they don't submit it at the ombudsman, it's at the IEC. But media, like, we are restricted to a few minutes. Will the IEC consider actually expanding it? At least, we don't say every journalist, but media houses, the target media houses, like, you have this time. You don't allow us to photocopy, but you need time to scrutinize and know what is the assets of these politicians. Because it's part of the process and it's very important for us. So will the IEC consider actually giving us longer time to scrutinize than limiting it to less than 5 minutes?
Okay, and maybe there's no time for nomination, huh? Okay, Yusufa, here, number 2, Yusufa, please. NDC. Yusufa is right here. He's right here. Yusufa, where are you? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So mine is not a question actually, just a comment, and to continue to encourage the IEC to facilitate this kind of engagement. And of course, today's interaction is a manifestation that when people are given platform, at some point, there'll be less questions to ask because all the doubts will be cleared. And this is something very good. And just to emphasize on what Chairman said, election, yes, IEC is the custodian, IEC is the primary body mandated and responsible for managing the elections. But beyond IEC, all of us has a responsibility in terms of awareness creation, in terms of sensitization, but also even in terms of encouraging, but also guiding our supporters, especially the political parties. They are here, and that's why I'm saying this. We all have a responsibility for a peaceful elections to be held. Political parties have a huge responsibility. You have huge influence, you have huge followers. Let's help each other to make sure that we have a peaceful elections. And again, like Salama mentioned, if you look at the political climate, sometimes it's very worrying. We see a lot of back and forth bickering. Hate speech is becoming very prevalent. And political parties, especially leaders, we have a responsibility to make sure that when we see our individuals, our supporters, our sympathizers trading in certain lines, let's caution them, call them back. But if we leave them and it's not going to be helpful, that is something that I want to appeal. And also, the other thing that I want to say is the timelines that have been presented here by the CEO.
These are not IEC laws, like Chairman said. These are Gambian laws. It's a responsibility on all of us to read the elections of 2025, familiarize ourselves. You cannot be a player and you don't know the rules. At the end of the day, you look for somebody to blame. Like the last year, 2021, we've seen it. The publication was done until things elapse. Then you have somebody turning to blame IEC to say, you've not informed us about the time to go to the revising courts. Yes, IEC may do, NCC may do sensitizing, but you, who is the player, it's your responsibility to know the rules and know when the publication is on, when should I go and file my case at the IEC for the revising courts to take place. So that's an appeal I want to make. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Yusfa. Yes, please.
Yes, actually, this is just a short one. This is Salama again. I just want to add on to Mr. Bojang's comment regarding you. If you want to be part of the players, you must know the rule. This thing came up yesterday during our validation, especially regarding the comportment of party agents during on elections day. It has always been very, very frustrating because we do also dispatch domestic observers. This year, we intend to dispatch over 200 domestic observers through the Imam project. And it came up during the recommendations that we have. Yesterday, it came up because, according to some of the participants, it is the responsibility of the IEC to train the party agents because most of those who are officially recruited by IEC, we see the difference because they were well trained before being sent to those areas. Unlike the party agents, most of them, it was an outcry yesterday. So some of them, the comportment is not something that we really, So I don't know whether there is something that we can do before this election. Who is responsible for training them, and should they be sent to serve as party agents without knowing the rules of the games? Because at times you see them, even bitterly engaging IC officials or voters. So this is something that we really need to work on before the next election. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Maybe Chairman can respond and we can take one or two more. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the first question is talking about nomination, and I think we can bank that question till next month or in September when we deal with nominations. Not so, sir. September, yes. Because every month has a theme, so we are dealing with registration. I don't want to mix mangoes and oranges together. So we'll do the oranges now. In September, we'll do the mangoes. So when it's time for nomination, we deal with nomination. Yes. Yes, training of party agents, they're here. IPC is here, the political parties is here. We train our officials, yes. So normally, in fact, what we do when we are when we are conducting our training, TOT, we invite the political parties. Not so, Mr. Sir. Yeah. So now when we do TOT, we expect the parties also to do a cascading training. Yes, just like what we do. We do a TOT and then we do training at the region for our staff. So this is a message for all of us. I'm glad the political parties are here. It's a problem that has been outlined, in the indicators. Yes. So let's try. Not only the political parties. Let's all try to get, at least if we don't get the hard copy, we get the soft copy, and then we make. There are some changes. There are certain changes. Because this time, I don't know, I don't want to go because I said we leave oranges to oranges. And so I will not go. I'll stop here. I think, yeah, the changes are, even it will, like the way we do the operations. Yeah. Because sometimes laws are, I'm glad Honorable Yaya Sajang is here because they pass the laws sometimes. You pass the laws and then the laws have an impact on everybody because, yes. So that's that. So I'll just stop here. When we come to nomination and the like, we will deal with some of these things because they have a bearing on some of those things.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I think there was a hand behind. There was somebody behind.